So today we saw tech CEOs file into a Capitol Hill chamber and be grilled by senators, and it's something we've seen over and over again, right? And but this time was different, and I want to talk a little bit about why. So, by its nature, these kinds of things are performative, right? You've got cameras in the room, and as a result, as any senator or their staffer will tell you, you're not really there for an exchange of information. You're not there to learn new information. You're there to score points, right? And to be, as much as possible, feeding into your personal brand as someone who stands up for your constituents. And so very often we had senators asking questions and not really giving any of these CEOs time to answer. And so in the past, I've found that sort of frustrating, and it's not for me, who really wants an exchange of information, who's deeply curious about what these people might say if we got to ask them questions and they were forced to answer. I'm frustrated by that. On the other hand, this was different for a couple of reasons. First, parents were in the room, and these are the parents of children, many of them parents of children who had died for one reason or another, related to their use of a social media platform. Bullying, self-harm, in some cases, terrible sexual exploitation, overdosing on a drug they bought on a platform, or arranged to buy on a platform, right? These things were there, and as a result, you had parents. I mean, at one point, Evan Spiegel, the CEO of Snapchat, is sitting there testifying, and right over his shoulder is a father holding up a picture of the son who died from drugs that he bought through Snapchat. I mean, and so what's amazing is that as a result, you know, in the past we've typically heard from tech folks, that the bad things that happen on the platform represent a tiny fraction of the total and overwhelmingly positive experience of people. But for these parents, right, this was not an edge case. This is the central defining fact of their lives, and there's nothing like a bereaved parent for being devoted to the cause of bringing awareness to what has gone wrong and resulted in the death or injury of their child. And so, I mean, there's just no escaping, in this case, in terms of the experience of this, that was central. And at one point, so Zuckerberg is there, he gets booed when he talks about the positive experiences of teenage creators on Instagram. He gets booed and hissed by parents. And at one point, Josh Hawley asked him if he would apologize to some of these parents in the room, and he did. He stood up and turned around and talked to these people. So to me, these dudes who created these companies, trying to sort of take advantage of the ability to collect data on and analyze the math of human relationships and human interests, to create a business, that to see them suddenly in a room where the only thing that anybody cares about is the damage done to kids was pretty amazing. And even in the questioning, you could see the senators actually zooming in on some very specific stuff. Senator Blumenthal asked, not in the aggregate, but on a specific case-by-case level, will you commit to being more transparent about bad things that happen on your platform, which I thought was very interesting, and another sort of like cutting right through a kind of dodge that we've seen from tech CEOs in the past. And so, again, I just thought it was really amazing and interesting. It's not an exchange of information, but in terms of really painting these CEOs with responsibility in terms of the optics of this for what has gone on their platforms when it comes to harm to children, it was very powerful. So, big day.